Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today is a posterior day, and we have my lovely girlfriend, Alejandros, with us for this session, back again. It is midweek, I'm off work this week, which is a fucking godsend. So come in a little bit earlier than normal today, 1 o'clock. It's less busy, we can get on with stuff, it's a bit nicer. But today is the posterior workout, which is calves to start, back, hamstrings and glutes to finish. And then a little bit more biceps at the end. It's a pretty big session, but it's very useful for this whole backside. It's sort of like a second leg day, but there's not really that much leg work in it. So it sort of masks as that too. So if you need to improve your hamstrings, it obviously acts as a hamstring day as well as a back day. So that whole backside is gonna get a lot of work. It's one of the more fun days that I get to do. It's one of the ones I look forward to. But we are currently, you're 7.5 weeks out. I'm 8.5 weeks out. It started to get a little bit tough. Like last night we were driving back from Brighton and I think we both nearly fell asleep in the car. Well, you did. And I was there at the wheel like, just suffering for like an hour just trying to get home. It wasn't even that late. We like left at 10 and got home at 11. We were both pretty fucked. So it's starting to bite a little bit now, but as it should do. I, this morning, weighed sub 100 kilos, 99.9. What were you,
115.6.
Yeah, but you don't have a weight cap in bikini.
No, but I'm about 5 or 6 pounds over stage weight, so.
Not far. And I'm just, 7 kilos off what I need to be. So it's there to come off. It's mostly on the tuchus. It's mostly here, as it's gonna be, because that's where I hold most of my fat. So glutes, lower back, that's where it is sitting. But there's not much left to come off, and I don't think I'm gonna be far off that weight cap limit at all, which is great news, because last year I was slightly over dieted and also probably didn't have quite enough muscle. So this year we come back a bit bigger, fill out that 93 cap, and just be in a much better place. And talking about shows now, getting things on the road, looking at the international ones, as well as the one on the 10th, which is a Cal's show, and the Arnold, which is on the 23rd on the Friday, first thing in the morning. So those are the two definites. And then there is one in between the Poland show, which is in between those 2 dates on the weekend in between. And then there's 3 after the Arnolds, which I could potentially do. 2 or 3, yeah. So there's a lot of attempts. There's 4 possible attempts, I think, at the pro card this time round, which I will definitely take. Obviously, we've got to think about expense of flights, because I'm not made of money. I've got to think about flight expense, hotel expense, getting the tan. 1MR does pay for my for show entries, which is a fucking another godsend. But you know, there's still other expenses to consider. But I'm very excited for prep to keep hammering on. We're both. Yeah, we're getting towards the, we actually look decent, rather than just being fat. So, yeah, we're both in a pretty happy spot. And it's just work every day. It's just like, we wake up, we do what we need to do, get meals in, come to the gym, do the workout, go home. It's just the bodybuilding life, and it's just so enjoyable to just be able to do it with someone else. Woo! It's good to just crack on with this stuff, and
Team effort.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about like, when are you going to the gym today? And like, how long are you gonna be in the gym? I want to go here.
As long as we need.
Yeah, we can just arrange everything around what we're doing. I mean, you spend like 75% of your time at my house now anyway, so.
Yeah, we're all kitted out.
Aiming to boost that to 100. So yeah.
It's just easy breezy at the moment. Both get our stuff done. Nothing gets missed. Not a calorie, not a step, not a minute of cardio is being missed, and it won't do, so.
It's all good.
Just doing it.
All right. And training today, I am going to be using, well, as I always do, got EAAs in here, some carb powder, and some creatine, all from GYMBEAST, which for codes you'll find up here. Today we're also going to be using, as it is a mostly back workout, it's the all blackout 1MR straps, which, to be honest, I tried all the others in the range. These are the well, not just because they're black, but these are the comfiest ones. The ones with the slight pad on them. I've used the thinner straps. You have to really wear them in. They'll be very good in time, but you have to get on with it. And as I'm in prep, I'm not feeling the. I ain't got time for break. It's like breaking in a pair of leather shoes. So these are much better than they're nubuck rather than actual leather. So nice and soft on the hands, but also very, very strong. So fantastic piece of equipment, and we'll be using them a lot today. 1MR code. The 1MR code will also be up here. First movement, standing calf raises, because we all need some more calves.
I definitely could some more calves.
Right, let's go. Watch me put 5 plates on this. Right, first exercise, standing calf raises on the calf raise / shoulder press. We have got 2 standing calf raises these days. One is the Nautilus, which I'll use on my leg days, and the other is this one. You can load this one a bit more, however. I've almost stacked the Nautilus one, and to be fair, I'm almost stacking this. It's just a fucking pain in the ass, but you get some heavier machines in here, man. It's all good. 3 sets here, 8 to 12. A 12 to 15 and a 15 to 20. That fucking last set, that set hurts, which is what you want. Calves is just about, you know, getting them really fucking strong. As they carry you around all day, they're not gonna respond to just this. See so many people in here just bouncing like this, and it does fuck all. And I feel like going over to them and be like, you need to slow it down. And contract the muscle like you would any other muscle. Like, imagine if you saw somebody doing bench and they're just fucking bouncing it like this. Same thing. So, need to be slow and controlled and get really fucking strong at it. And with calves, you can get them really, really strong. Like, you know, Dorian Yates using like 500 kilos on a calf raise at some point in his career, and his calves were huge. So, there is a massive correlation between strength and big muscles. So, that is what we want, big muscles. More weights.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you can get.
Right, first set for Ali, 8 to 12. It's actually a very smooth machine, so you don't have to like jolt it up. Obviously the last few reps, you're probably gonna get halfway and then have to jolt it a little bit. But the majority of the time you can be nice and smooth on the way up, which is what you want, and down, of course. So, little pause at the bottom, smooth on the way up, pause at the top, slow on the way down. That's calves. That's all calf movements. Really easy, and people complain about not growing their calves all the time. Progressive overload on any machine, get progressively stronger, they will grow. This thing about genetics, fuck off. Like, my calves were terrible, and now, I mean, they're not bad, are they? So, I know I'm on drugs, but like, they still grew when I was natural, so still works.
Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing.
Squeeze it up, press through those. Push those toes through that plate, come on, that's it. Couple more. There you go. Come on, one more. Press it. There it is. Big ow. I've got some fucking sweat, man. N-dubs in a gym. Who does this? Being here.
Facial recognition got a hit.
She just grabbed my bum. 12-15. You notice I've got a slight little bend in the knee when I do this. You can do them like just locked out straight leg like this, but I find it puts a lot of pressure on your knees and your ankles particularly. And if you're working your calves, say 3-4 times a week, that pressure builds up and you can end up with a bit of tendonitis, especially in your feet, which you don't want, because that shit's not fun. So, little bend in the knee, protects your knees a bit, protects the ankles, actually gets you a deeper stretch, you can connect a bit better, and you save yourself really going through that Achilles tendon. Obviously, we want to keep those. They might be very strong and very thick, but you fuck them up, you're going to be out for a while. So a little bend of the knee. That's what we need. With the first one, I did 230, second one 210, third one, because it's a bit higher reps, I'm going for 20. I'm gonna drop it off, not 20 kilos, I'm gonna drop it off 30 kilos. Just because if I go for 20, I know I'm not gonna get there. So you gotta find the spaces in between your sets with the weight you're gonna use. And you'll find that out over time just by doing the exercises. But it's very person dependent. On some things, I literally change the weight 5 kilos when I drop. Other exercises, it's got to be more. Obviously, this is a heavy exercise, so it's going to be more weight than it is less. You getting sweat in my eye, man. Jeez.
But I cannot see. I'm legally blind. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm innocent. Come on this way.
I actually did my second set as the first set, so I did the 12 to 15 first, just because on the weight I was using. So I needed to use 230, but because of my brain, I used 210. So addition, not great at the minute. So we're doing the heavy set last, which is going to be interesting. So I'm going for 8 on this. This might go well, it might not, we'll see. Oh, I'm on. That was 8. Got him. We got him. Ladies and gentlemen.
We got him.
This is the gym shot pull down. Obviously, it's designed based off the Nautilus pull down, so it's basically the same thing. Anyway, we do this single arm because we really want to get into the side here, right into the lat, lower portion of the back here. When you're doing this, if you've got one, you want to be feeling literally just here. You don't want to be feeling up here. If you're getting up here near the rear delt, you're not doing what the machine is designed for. It is essentially a high row. So it's gonna get right in here. So when we're doing this movement, it is chest up and you are driving that elbow as far down and into this pocket right near the hip as it's gonna get, which means you can lean, like from the side, I'm gonna lean over a lot like this. And even if I supinate my hand to get further in there and really on that lat down here, you don't want to end up here. Oh yeah, the handles also swivel, so that's excellent. But you don't want to end up in here because you're going to end up pulling with your bicep and your rear delt, and you end up coming crunching down like this, and it's going to end up, all the tension is going to end up through here. We don't want that. You're going to end up with some kind of injury over time. So if you can't get up, chest up and down into here, you need to lower the weight, which is actually what I've just done. I was going a little bit too heavy and ended up all in here. So revise the weights down, fix the form, everything gets better, and you can get back into these lower lats. And everybody needs bigger lower lats, so that's what we're going for.
Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off.
So Alex just on our last warm up. We got 2 sets here, 6 to 10 and a 10 to 15. All the reps on this, you want as uniform as you can get them. You want them all to look the same, apart from maybe the last couple where you're obviously going to slow up. But to do this right, the bottom of the rep, that contraction is almost going to take the wind out of you when you do it. That's how you know you've got it right. It should really lock in there. And that's how you know you've got a good connection on the lat, which for a lot of people is really hard to establish. So if you're a newbie, it's really good to spend a lot of time trying to feel that lat and get in there, because that's the way they're going to grow. Yeah, you can put your hand on it if you can't really work out where it is, but it is just this whole bit under your armpit from here connects down into there. So we're just trying to get that from, when we bring it down, we're trying to get this bit to get as close to here as possible. We're just trying to get those bits to connect. So getting it as short as you can.
I work hard each and every day. I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb. A new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day. I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change.
Right. Is this still on? No. So a lot of times you find, especially when you take on new clients who maybe aren't too well versed in the art of the gym, they don't know how to push themselves and they don't know what going to failure means. Like just then on that set with Ali, she could have stopped at 16, but she felt she had another one and went for 17. And I didn't have to say anything. You get guys who will just do a prescribed rep range, hit 10, had 5 left in the tank, they're like, oh, I did 10 reps, and they won't squeeze it out. You've got to go until you can't move anymore. That's the rule. If the weight still moves, you keep moving the weight. And obviously you've got to contract it and put effort into the set. Again, just moving weights around isn't going to build muscle.
I think people are so busy trying to get the set over and done with, but it's about staying in the set for as long as you can and making it hard. It's not supposed to be easy. If it's easy, you're not going to grow.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Like, if you're doing a set, you aren't squeezing the muscle and you aren't making it difficult, you just throw weight. You see it on this all the time. People just going like this, and they're not using the muscle that the machine is intended for, and they're not thinking about it at all. They're just moving weights around. You're not going to grow. You're just probably going to end up with some joint pain, and you won't end up any bigger because you're not doing anything. So every single exercise, every single set, and every single rep has to have some intent behind it. Otherwise, you're just fucking around in the gym. You know, you may as well just be some kid coming in for a bit of fun. Like, obviously, this is still fun. We find this fun, but you want to do it properly, don't you? Oh, yeah.
I did a double take because I thought you were my sister. Literally, I was like, I know. This is my friend. I'm all about the running flat. Look at mine. I didn't.
I like those.
Always.
The angles. Last one. Bullets. Come on. Nice. You notice then as well when I'm spotting, it's only the last one. If she can still move it herself, I don't need to touch that. When I do need to touch it, it is the lightest of touch. You don't want to yank it out of their hand. There is nothing fucking worse than having somebody yank the weight out of your hand while you're trying to connect, because it just takes everything off it. I've had to stop people before and be like, can you fucking stop? Even if I haven't asked them to do it, they might do it out of kindness to come over.
It's not time.
It's not helpful. Like, if you're gonna spot, you have to do it properly, and that's not to be rude, but it's a fucking pain when someone does it wrong. You just have to be like, look, you don't know what you're doing, I don't have time to teach you, let's just leave it and I'll just do the set myself. But that only happens sometimes. Generally it's okay in here because people know what they're doing, but it does happen and you have to sort of be like, cheers mate, but just back off. So the lightest of touches on the very last 1 or 2 reps. Like, not from the first, or from even from like the fucking 10th in if it's a 12 rep, 15 rep set. Don't be fucking on them, because it's not helping anybody. If I find it annoying, I can't, if I ever do barbell squats, which is obviously never, I could never, when I did, I could never be spotted by anything from behind because it would just throw me off. And I was like, it's not gonna happen. So people have different preferences. Don't assume that they want a spot, because a lot of the time,
Most people will ask if they want it.
yeah. You don't need to go steaming in there trying to be saving the day. If I want to die, let me die. All right, DY row. I'm gonna do something very interesting with this DY row. It's a bit of an awkward setup if you use the seat. A very good friend of mine showed me this one. Take the seat off, end up in a much better position to actually use these handles. So obviously adjust the chest pad for where you need it. But this is literally emulating a dumbbell row. So working foot, working side, that foot forward. You just pull into the hip here and you get a much better connection than you would if you were gonna use the seat, because you're sat down around here. Even with the seat, you end up like perched and you're on your gooch. It feels weird, it's not very nice. So just take the seat off, take it completely out of it. You get a little bit of play in the body as well then, so you haven't got to be too strict. Obviously we want to stay in good form, but we don't want to be restricted by our form. So this allows for a bit more of a natural motion. Taking the seat off, and yeah, 6 to 10 here. No, sorry, 8 to 12 here, and a 12 to 15. Just 2 sets, but like the last exercise, these are tough. So big boy weights as well. So let's get to it. Oh. This is the only part of the gym where the air conditioning works. So it's actually quite kind of bearable down here. Yeah.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game that we say. I need a break. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on.
Yeah. It's just awkward, isn't it? Next one is a wide grip D handle lat pull down, and how on the gym shop pull down we weren't trying to hit here. Well, with this we are trying to hit here, trying to get this really wide look here. So fill in these bits out, the meaty bits. So you get those, you get them lats from the front. That's what we want. So it's 8 to 12, 12 to 15, and a 15 to 20. Slow and controlled, and try and stay fairly upright, but a little bit of tilt. So chest up, little bit of tilt. We don't want to end up like this, pulling down like that. We want to be nice, big, upright, pulling in like this. So here we go.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you can get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like. Find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Maybe weekend. Yeah. Okay. Prime row. This is for upper and mid back. I'm using the neutral grips because it's what I prefer. You go with the flat on this and really get in there, but for me, I'm preferring the neutral at the minute. It sort of emulates a chest supported dumbbell row, which is what I was supposed to do in the program, but I don't really connect very well with those. But I like this. And plus we have the adjustable loaders. So for the upper back, we get very weak in the top. So if we load the bottom of the movement using the top pins, it means by the time we get halfway up, we can still squeeze into that top part of the movement and get into that upper back a bit better. So very useful piece of kit, very strategic piece of kit, and should hopefully bring a gnarly upper back to the stage. My lower back already gets striated, as do my lats, so hopefully in time the upper back will be as well, because when I was younger, the reason my lats flare the way they do, I think, is because when I trained back, I never took any regard for my traps or my mid back. I only ever trained my lats. But I was always just trying to focus on my lats. Every single movement I did, even if it was the wrong way to do it. That's what I wanted, a lat pump. So it's probably why they're quite developed, which is, I'm thanking my younger self for it, because I learned how to feel my lats. But just means I need to bring up the mid back, which is what I've been doing a lot of, and it seems to be working. So 2 sets here, a 6 to 10 and a 10 to 15. And they are pretty brutal. So let's get on with it in this fucking boiling heat. Oh! 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 Woo! Fucking hell. So with that as well, I'm keeping my upper back arched. I'm not letting it extend all the way. There's a little bit of extension to come through and get straight arms, but I'm not letting it fall off, so all that tension goes out of my mid back. I'm still trying to stay tight through there. So keep it strong, and that's why you stay in the reps. Otherwise you'll just get loose and it'll get sloppy and you won't be able to progress. So tight form. Oh! Oh! It is too fucking hot today. This British weather needs to chill out. I want to start wearing a jumper again. This ain't okay. Okay, next movement is hyperextension. Now this is for the glutes, so we want to be thinking about the glutes. However, it is, the way you're going to feel it is quite a small portion of the glute. It is right at the top, this portion just here. So you're probably not going to get much here, mostly in here, and a bit of hamstring. So legs are going to stay as straight as you can get them here, and you're going to push up against this pad. What we're going to do, however, you see a lot of people with their chest up on this. That's going to bring your lower back in. We want zero lower back. You want to round as much as you can on this. So I'll show you quick, but if you don't round, you're not going to get into those glutes. So what you want to do is, you've got to think about it as doggy style, really. That's the best way to do it. Thrust in, down and in like that. We're not doing this, it's that way. That's the deepest you're gonna get, doing it like that. So that's where we wanna feel it. And you just wanna literally smash your hips and push your hips straight into this pad. And that's the way you're gonna get the glutes in. So I'll show you. The male, you've gotta make sure you aren't gonna crush your balls doing this. What little remains of them. So just set up properly. Feet in the position you want them, so you're not gonna hurt your quads, because you can end up pressing quite hard down on your quads here. So set the foot plate in the right place. Make sure your feet are okay. And then what I'm gonna do, hands to the head, because when I load this, I'm gonna use a dumbbell. I put my hands to my head here, and I'm just gonna keep my back as rounded as I can, and then just pull through my glutes. Tiny movement, and squeeze at the top for 2 seconds, and come back down. Keep the tension on the glutes, so we're not going all the way down here. We're just coming to the point where the tension drops off, and then we're just gonna go from here to there. Hold, come back down. Okay, just warming up. I think I'm gonna use 45 or 50 kilos for my top set today. So just 2 sets here, 6 to 10 and a 10 to 15, as always. The pain in the arse is actually getting the dumbbells, because they're all the way over there. You gotta carry them all the way over here. So you just get your extra steps in. More cardio. Oh, his and hers. A little bit different sound, right? You just need that extra squeeze. 1 second doesn't really do it on this. You need to hold it a little bit longer, and then they engage and squeeze together. Because the fibers cross inwards like so. That's how you want to be feeling. You want to squeeze in. In and clench. Like that. To make booties look big, you have to make them look small. That's it. Do you need another dumbbell?
No, I've got 2 lots of space.
I need another dumbbell. 42 and a half.
This is how the glutes really, really go. Pull in that squeeze. Guys, if you don't train your glutes, please train them. Ladies want a fucking peachy. And we all know why we want it to be nice and peachy. Because those glutes, well-developed glutes, equal a lot of hip thrusting power. And we all know what that's very fucking useful for. So, guys, train those glutes.
Why did that work so well? Yeah. That was very weird.
What?
But it worked.
What did?
The explanation, the voice you put on, I was like, she's doing this on purpose.
Oh no, I was just speaking native. Good to know though.
Yeah. Alright, second and last lower body exercise of this session is seated hamstring curls. Getting the hamstring as short as we can here, so from here to here. We're going to focus on the lower part of the hamstring, that real hang there. Don't know if you can see it, but there. Just trying to get some meaty hams, basically. Very simple movement. It's literally just like a bicep curl for the legs. More like a preacher curl, really. But we want to just set up the seat, the seat so your knee is in line with the joint of the machine. set the foot pad, it's in the right place for me anyway, set the foot pad just above your ankles. You don't want it on your feet, you're not going to get a great connection to do that. Just a little bit above, and then we want this part of the machine to come down just above the knee. We don't want it on the kneecap because it's going to stress the kneecap, but you want it just above. You're going to press it as far in as it's going to go. And then when we're actually doing it, we want bum flush to the seat. Try and keep your back as flat as possible to the seat. You don't want to be rounding too much out of this. And we want to push our knees into this pad from the start so we get the proper hamstring engagement, because if we're trying to pull back and down, you might get a little bit more feeling in the hamstring, but it's not going to be consistent, and you're going to pull yourself out of that position. You're going to arch your back, which is going to put pressure on your lower back, which we don't want. We just want to work the hamstring. So what we want to do is just drag. We don't want to yank. We want to feel the tension like you would say in a deadlift. You want to take the tension out of the bar and drag the weight up. Push against with these handles, don't pull yourself in. Push against so you sit flush against the seat and just bang away. But you want to be feeling more or less the whole of the hamstring. I try not to feel like more of the inside part of the hamstring rather than the outside, just because it feels better on my knee joint. You still want to get those lines straight like you would on a leg extension. So however your feet are going to sit with your hips in line with your knees, right, you want to pull in at a right angle like this. So you want to see straight lines when you're doing it like this. You don't want to be coming, like a side angle like that, because it obviously it's like a hinge of a door. If it's on an angle, it's going to break eventually. So we want nice flush straight lines. So for me, that's a little bit pulled inwards, bring my adductors together and just squeeze in like that. I will eventually end up with toes out just because that's what it feels better for me, but that is the movement. So I'm just going to warm up.
Everything just feels like a test, that I fail so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want.
Tired boy now. Just arms left. Thank fuck. Yeah, we don't say the word that goes in that bit. 3 lots of 12 to 15 here. I'm trying to use the strictest form I can here and place the tension on my forearms. So when I do that, I'm trying to keep my wrist as flat as possible in that position, because normal bicep curls you're probably going to end up like a little bit like this, whereas for this I want to keep the wrist, if not a little bit extended, so I can really engage this part of my forearm and just extend from there. We get a lot of brachialis. So this sort of chunky part that sits on top of your forearm, that's what we're looking for. You're going to hit bicep too, but we want to focus on here. So that's what I'm doing. It's too fucking hot. What is this dog shit music? Fuck me. Oh.
So especially when I'm with Alex, we tend to go through poses, and obviously as I teach posing, it's useful for us to go through these together, just making sure that Alex is showing everything off that he should be in every pose. So a lot of these poses Alex is pretty much nailing already. It's a lot of the mandatory stuff in the comparisons that needs a little bit of work, especially as he has so much muscle. It's just making sure it gets shown off properly. And here we basically kind of pulled his chest up big time, which filled out his top line rather than before his chest was kind of dropped. And that's transformed that side chest, so happy days there. These are all very nice, including the holy sock. And in this back shot, what we've done is make sure that the feet are out, toes are turned out big time, so that we're getting a lot of quad here. Before, Alex was basically just showing off his back, which is brilliant, but the judges are looking for balance here from top to bottom, so making sure that, you know, Alex does have some legs, be that the hamstrings, be that the quads and the glutes in those back shots. So just making sure we are giving the judges what they want. And then again in this front relax, making sure that Alex isn't leaning back too much, which he loves to do, and that his hands are kind of in line with the narrowest part of his waist. That's going to draw the judges' eyes to the small part of the waist, which is what we want. So yeah, happy days there, some nice changes we've done. And again, the last thing we did here, which Alex is doing really nicely, is with the back arm. So here, his right bicep and his right pec. There's a lot of tension and a lot of contact between those two, and it's bringing out the fullness in that back pec. Yeah, great stuff there. Nice, nice, nice. Keeping those knees driven out, those heels pulled together for some more adductor. We want to close the gap between the legs and pushing back into the glutes really nicely there. Good, just lift the chest slightly. Nice. And if we come into that again, let's just make sure that the delts stay on top of the lats just a little bit more, because we don't want to miss the cap. Perfect. And see how now Alex's rear delts are really popping, and you can see the kind of cap to his delts rather than them flattening off. So that's fab, good stuff. Yeah, good. So it's that back bicep and pec, that contact there, and the tension. Perfect. And with his front hand, he's not covering his glute. The judges can see that condition in his glute, which is perfect. We don't want to hide anything that we've worked really hard to diet for. But yeah, happy days.
Right, that's the end of the session.
Finished. And it's hot.
Yeah, we're both fucked. That is way too hot in here. They gotta sort the aircon and the music out because it's too fucking warm. Anyway, it is a good session, that one. It's very enjoyable. It is rough. It's probably say the second hardest session of the week behind my actual leg day.
Yeah.
But it's a cracker, and I very much enjoy it. So yeah, definitely, things are definitely motoring on now. You know, like 8.5 weeks for me, 7.5 for you. Just into the double figures for me in terms of kilos. It's all coming together, which is very exciting. And as fucked as we are now, it's more from the heat than anything. Like, I'm not hungry. I had 3 meals before I came, and it's like we trained at 1, so everything's fallen into place. It's fine.
Just this heat, so hopefully it gets a little bit cooler.
Apart from it won't, because I know I've checked the forecast. It's going to be fucking 31 degrees next Tuesday or something. So yeah, nice and gross. So whatever, you just got to deal with it. It's prep, isn't it? If it was cold, we'd be complaining it was cold. Although I'd probably just wear more layers. And right now, I really want to wear a jumper, but I can't. So yeah. But everything's going well. I'm real happy with how things is moving. So
The breeziest prep I've had.
yeah, this is. I mean, I've only ever done 2 before this, and the last one was not the easiest in terms of home life nor the gym. So this is a million times better. And I feel that this year I'll definitely be looking. You know, I spoke to Cal the other day, and I was like, look, give me a realistic perspective on doing international shows, and he was like, he just went, if we get condition, which we will, lol, then I could be in contention. So I'm happy to hear that. It's good news. So it's all signs are positive. All signs are positive, and I'm looking forward to how things are moving forward. What about you?
I'm very excited, very excited. Just want to kind of redeem myself from last year. Didn't have a very smooth prep. Didn't really get into the condition I wanted to. I'm already pretty much leaner than I was on stage last year. I am 100% leaner than I was. So I'm basically coming for the British title this year. Yeah, I've been inching my way closer for the last 2 seasons. So the goal is to win the title and then move away from bikini and take a very much needed 2-3 year off season and move into figure.
We get fucking huge.
Yeah, big. So that's my goal for this year, is I really do want to win that British title. Last year, even though I didn't bring the condition I wanted to, I did come away with a 2nd place at the British, which is the first loser basically. So I want to fix that this year.
Yeah, but you had a rough prep and you came 2nd still.
It was. So
That's very Chris Bumstead in my eyes.
We'll have to see, but things are very promising this year. But most importantly, I'm enjoying it, thanks to the man. And yeah, I think if you can enjoy a prep, then it shows in your physique. You're not stressed. Your body is responding well. That's all you can do. You know, adhering to the plan is not an issue with either of us.
Yeah.
It's just life and other things fitting around prep. When everything else is in a sweet spot, prep is made 100 times easier. So I think we're both happy.
Very smooth. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe.
Tag us on Instagram if you watch.
Tell a friend.
Please.
Yeah, our socials will be down below, as all my codes for GYMBEAST and 1MR, wherever you want to put them. Let's go down there. Bang. Yeah. So I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Are you still filming? Are you doing that thing again? Yeah.
Oh, again.
I'm just gonna keep staring at you. Your camera's gonna die before I give up, so